So Om Mani Padme Hung. Mani means jewel and Padme means lotus. So the jewel in the lotus is a representation of the co-mingling of wisdom and compassion in practice. That we always practice one together with the other. Compassion practice on its own without wisdom is a bit maybe naive, and wisdom practice without compassion is a bit maybe like a intellectual self-exercise kind of thing, right? So the representation of, sort of like perfectly cultivated compassion in the Buddhist tradition is Avalokiteshvara, known for having the many thousands of hands, and that is the visual representation of being ready for action. You see someone in need, or you see an action that needs to be taken, and you have infinite number of hands with which to help, with which to reach out, with which to assist. And I have noticed that something about yoga practice and meditation practice has increased that ability in me to be not only sort of have more situational awareness, to be aware that someone around me, needs help getting a stroller down the stairs, or needs a seat on the subway, or kind of just, first of all, noticing the people around you and noticing the situation around you, and being able to exercise that empathy in the moment. And then that sort of reaction time, the sort of ability to react a little bit more quickly, effortlessly, with wisdom in that moment. So it's working. The yoga is working, is what I'm trying to say. So one of the main sort of practices, both in the yoga tradition and then it comes into the Buddhist tradition, is the verse from the Yoga Sutras, Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam. And in the yoga tradition, sometimes we call it the 4 locks and the 4 keys, right? The 4 obstacles that we will encounter, and then the ways to pass through this obstacle, this doorway. In the Buddhist practice, the same 4, right? The same 4 types of people that we will encounter, and the same 4 sort of prescriptions for the mind, attitudes of mind. But they're called the 4 immeasurables. And they're called the 4 immeasurables because there's this sense of wanting to increase the not the attitude itself. It's not that we're making sympathetic joy immeasurable. It's that we're making it immeasurable to encompass infinite number of beings, right? That's the immeasurable part. So the reason we need to understand and consciously develop love and compassion is that although they are naturally within us, there is a flaw in our ordinary love and compassion. The flaw is simply that our love and compassion are limited. We have love for some, but we lack it for others. We might feel love for people we know, but not for people we don't know, or compassion for our pets, but not for other people, or compassion for some animals, but not for others, right? And so when we practice the 4 immeasurables of love, compassion, empathetic joy, and impartiality, right, towards those that we find unvirtuous or wicked, when we practice these, we don't actually practice them in that order. The order of love, compassion, joy, and impartiality is the customary order for the 4 immeasurables. But we can't start by meditating on love and compassion. We have to start by meditating on the 4th immeasurable, which is impartiality or equanimity. We do this because, as we have seen, we already possess some degree of love and compassion. What we lack, and thus what we need to develop first, is impartiality. If we cultivate love and compassion first, we will probably increase the intensity of our love and compassion for those we already feel concern for. Without impartiality, we will correspondingly increase our aversion, anger, or actual hatred towards those we don't feel concern for. So therefore, we must begin to meditate on or cultivate. So therefore, to begin, we need to start by cultivating impartiality. So isn't that interesting? The passage also very much reminds me of the sort of increase in the divisions in our culture right now. And so, and so therefore, I can see in the real world that, that I need to cultivate, that I need to start with cultivating a little bit more impartiality. Or like, what would happen if I started with impartiality and then worked my way back towards love and compassion? So how do we do that in practice? There are different ways to sort of turn that contemplation around in your mind. First is to start with, you can start with a meditation on 3 types of people. You can start, you meditate on a person you don't know at all, and you recognize the fact that that person could turn into a friend or could turn into an enemy at any time. They themselves are empty of only one type of being. They could be a stranger, they could be a friend, they could be an enemy. And any of our interaction, any of our relation can shift that person. Just a kind word can shift the person into a friend, or a harsh word could shift that person into someone we don't like or who doesn't like us, right? And then you do that also with your enemy and also with someone you feel love for. And by kind of examining the way in which no person is absolutely and permanently one thing or another, right? And then another way to practice is to practice metta meditation on either people that we feel neutral towards. It's a good place to start, right? May you be happy, may you be free from suffering, may you be healthy, may you be at peace, to someone who we have no particularly strong feeling towards one way or the other. And then even moving into doing metta on people who we maybe feel annoyed by, maybe we're having a misunderstanding with. May you be happy, may you be at peace, may you be free from suffering, may you be free from sickness. And then maybe moving into more and more dangerous territory. Maybe. You know, they usually say don't start with the hardest person first. Don't start with the person that agitates your mind the most. And yet, you know, I find, I think we've found ourselves in a somewhat emergency level situation in this world and in this age, in this Kali Yuga. So maybe we ought to go for the hardcore practices first and try to get this situation turned around as fast as possible. But I digress. That's a little bit of a digression. I'm panicking. Another way to work with people who you're having difficulties with is to try to remember that they have people that love them and who don't find them annoying. To try to see the situation from their point of view, right? Not from what would I do if I were them, but actually trying to look at who that person is and how they react to things, right? We often reduce compassion to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, but that's sort of like entry level compassion, right? because not everybody reacts to situations the same way I react to situations, and not everybody has the same experiences and understandings that I have. So actually, it's a bit more advanced to say, well, how does that person see it, and how can I alleviate some of that person's suffering that might not be how I would prefer my suffering to be alleviated, right? Just a few ideas for working with difficult people, but this reading really had a big effect on me when I first heard it, and I've been reading it all month, and I think it's really valuable to do the difficult work, to start from the difficult people and work our way back rather than start from the people we love, as Kenshin Trungpa Rinpoche suggests. So I hope this has been helpful. Stick around and I'll show you the chords that I was just playing. Om Mani Padme